Jolly good day, old chaps. Sir Silver here, ready with another Minecraft video. I hope you enjoyed the brand new intro made by Hatafast and music by JJ Crafting. Now, we got some stuff to talk about. It's been a few months here since my last video, mostly because I was, 1, not feeling well, 2, lots of technical problems with replay mod, and by the time I finally got it working, I had so many builds, I was like, let's just build a couple more. As you can tell, I have built a lot more buildings, a lot more terraforming in the distance there, but for now, let's get started on some of the time-lapse. Now, I'll be talking during this time-lapse, just so you can see, but I decided to use some shaders for this time-lapse. Tell me what you think. I will be using a mixture of it on some of the more build aspect ones, and probably not for more of the terraforming ones. But I'll wait for your opinions on that. Welcome back, welcome back! Just sitting here on the mining quarry, which is connected right up to the furnace, if you can see on the very left there. But yes, one of the many new buildings that I've added on currently. Let's just get a better look here. Just thought I'd give a show of this off. It's one of my more prouder buildings, as it's the first time using some of the new copper blocks in a pallet, as well as the first step to getting some decoration down there, because right now, right there is the most barren spot. I'll just quickly talk about this before we get onto the wheat field, but yeah. I'm going to have a pathway, like a wooden walkway, going from the storage room, aka Starlight Cavern, going up to here, and connecting up. I'm going to pass along the bridge, which, by the way, I did have to completely rebuild half this bridge to make it one less wide when I was building up all the extra designs and the copper bits and all. Yeah, wasn't too hard, but it's like, Anyways, when we got the wooden pathway here, I'm going to have some raw materials that it looks like it's loading up. Maybe some more cranes or something. And then once I have that all done, I'll have this secret entrance, which I'll fancy up a bit more, which will lead to another new build. 3 o'clock in. Just give you a quick look here. Just has a little bit of a stairwell going all the way to the top, and a bunch of rooms, which I'm not going to be doing interiors for. Yeah, it's called 3 o'clock in because it literally has a clock tower. Quite simple, quite simple. I still have a bunch of builds to do in this area where the chest monster is, but I haven't really been wanting to move the chest monster yet, so I've been neglecting it. But this is one of the next few areas I'll be doing. Anyways, time for us to go beyond the mountains and start terraforming. Now, once again, while we're talking here, just want to say that the amount of effort this time-lapse alone took is at least 23 hours just for the plains area, not even including the filling the river with water and tilling the ground. This itself probably took another 7. Because I also had to fill in all the caves and build up the mountainsides like I'm about to do here. Because I had a bunch of caves like these where I either just tried to fill them in or just built up a facade around it. I tried to use a mixture of the stone covered with grass and such like that, since personally that's what I find most appealing, since I don't like just solid dirt. But let me know what you think. Do you like the dirt mountains, or like that are just pure dirt with ounces of stone, or what? Anyways, here I had to slowly go and progress with the water as I was tilling the ground. Since I also ran out of dirt, I had to start making coarse dirt. Yes, a double chest worth of dirt. Of shulkers of dirt, rather. Gone like that. Here's a small little bridge that I built. Thought it would be nice to have it as a pathway, as I'm going to be building a cottage on that hill surrounded by the wheat field. Now, back to the game. And here we are. back on the plains of Medis Vale. We actually just took a little bit of a boat ride down, exploring the area, and also making plans. For example, up here is where we plan to make a little cottage. Perhaps something like my starter house at the beginning of the series. Something about that size. Maybe have a barn or something. Just so we have something out here. It will be completely surrounded by wheat fields on all sides. And also, maybe something like a fishing hut or something here down. So that they can get boats, you know, just for the lore aspect. And all the way up the river, just give you a quick show of it. Here I go. Nice little mountainside that I made. I also plan to do some smaller stuff up on this end. Just kind of make a extension of the city out here. Just a couple of tent houses and cottages, a bridge, and this is going to be a gateway that connects out with the gateway on the other side. I'm just gonna, if I can get out here. There should be an exit. I'll just have a hidden exit and have one of these on the other side. Like this. We'll also extend the walls on this side just to make it look a bit more consistent as well, but yeah. This will be the fishing village area. And we also got to make a fortress up here. If you have any suggestions on what we should make, feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any ideas. Because it's a nice little space here, and it's probably going to have some attachment to the castle, because it is going to be quite close. It's just right there, and yeah. Also, this area here, I haven't sure what I'm going to do with yet. Probably just put in a couple trees and mostly leave this area untouched, since it's going to be a bit separated from the wheat field. Like, there's not going to be any wheat down here, or on this side of the river, until you get to this line over here. That's where the wheat field's going to start. And it's going to carry on till we get to this area, to the little post here. Still got a bit of terraforming to do here, where these pits are, and smoothing out the land, but yeah. Also just have the road go off into the sunset, because this whole area is pretty much just a lore barrier or something like that. Like, after here it's like, nope, we don't care what happens, it's all imaginary. After all this is just a backdrop for what's going to be my castle here. Still, I'm coming up with, I have a lot of ideas for it, but still trying to decide on what I'm going to do here. All I know is that somewhere up here I'm going to have my room overlooking the vast expanse. Maybe like a balcony, a couple balconies, a couple towers and all that also. Just so we have lots of viewing space to see this beautiful terrain, or what will be. Anyways, let us get started on this build. As soon as we go around here. And here we go. The brand new build of the Fields of Medis Vale. Now, I know that could have been perfect. I could have stood a bit more out if I had planned this out a bit more, but yeah. This is a build that is inspired by a picture I saw. I believe it was by Blue Nerd MC. I saw a picture of this when I was looking up some reference photos and saw the build and was like, this could use a shed on the side. And while I didn't outright use the build, I did use the shape because I'm not used to having shapes like this. And one thing I really liked was this arch here, and also the railing there. So I decided to use it mostly for that. I've changed a few things here. For example, I didn't like the beams he had in the middle. I found them a bit weird, and I put this hay shed, which is also the place where my bed is, because I got rid of my beacon, because I don't really need the beacon effect anymore, because it's just going to be tilling all that earth. And then the hidden chest monster of doom. This year I'll be putting a bunch of trees and all that once we get closer. And this entire hilltop, including this, and probably this area. Maybe all the way to here. So pretty much this platform, this topmost layer, is going to be grass. And then down here is going to be, again, wheat field all around, except for the path. Again, and pretty nice little shape. Like I said, I wanted to get a bit more out of my comfort zone, to say, because while I did build a whole lot of builds, I do feel they're a bit... Well, I really love this one. I want to get more builds like this, but they all seemed a bit odd, so I'm going to try and get some more shapes into the mix, because mostly it's stuff like this building here, is if I can land. Mostly stuff like this building here is a constant. I have probably 3 similar shaped buildings, maybe a couple different spots for the stairs and the roofs and all that, but yeah. I tried experimenting shapes freelance, and I'll probably actually take some photos of some more reference photos from real life buildings and start working again off there, because I did that with some of the early builds. Like, I believe this one here was one that I took off a real buildings, or at least somewhat similar to a real building. I don't remember. I'll have to find the picture again. But yeah, that's where I took inspiration for this one, and the gatehouse was almost completely freelance. I had no idea what I was doing when I was starting. I just kind of went off from the bridge. And then when I got the bridge, or when I got this done, I changed the bridge entirely, adding that stuff. So yeah. Gotta go sleep. Just gonna give you a look of how it looks at night before I go to sleep here. And also I want to see how far this loads, because I don't want this area is gonna be like a lower barrier. It's gonna come up to here and just end like that, all along this wall. So you can't see it now. You can see the bridge now. You can see the pathway. And I also trying out the leaves. I don't usually use leaves because I find they are a bit distracting from the build. And if I do use them, I try to use moss or such built into the walls if possible. But yeah, let me know what you think. Also decided to throw in a couple tulips up here, because this is going to be a pathway similar to this. Maybe a bit more dirt since it's out here. But yeah. Now let's go to sleep. There we go. Uh-oh. I don't remember there being spawning spaces over here. Oh, that's because I took out the beacon. Do I have a lantern? Boop. Oh, and they died. Well, one of them died. Now they're both dead. So again, I'm gonna go out here. For these areas, if I can just grab my mangrove roots, so I can show you if I have a bucket of water. Also, yeah, I just moved all my shulkers here, so it's kind of a mess. Kind of a mess. There we go. My plan is, since where the water source goes, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 this way, 4 this way. That's max it can go. So of course I'm gonna have to have something in these layers, because they're not gonna be able to hide. Because 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that will leave kind of like this area here. So what I plan to do is do something like where it's an obvious area that I don't have to redo later. Let's go right here. My plan is to go something like glowstone, because this will also help with lighting. Get that there. And done. And once I get the wheat in, because we'll have all the wheat planted, I'll also grab, come on, let's grab some seeds. I don't have any yellow coral fans, but I'm going to mix in some coral fans in there on top of that. I might not even use mangrove roots. I have just an easy block. I might even use something like normal leaves or something. I keep forgetting the things. I might even use just normal leaves. That way I can get a bit more efficient, or even just slabs. Just something that's dark brown or can be hidden easily and waterlogged. Now I need to search through all my many shulkers. There we go. Yeah, I really need to get my gear, my chest in order. So the plan is something like this. We got all the seeds planted. Boop, 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 boop. This is temporary because I have to stomp these out later anyways. I also want to see how it looks without. Because I don't really want to have to get a bunch of... no bunch of coral fans if I don't have to. Because, come on, it's going to be a pain to have that one extra thing you gotta place down. Can't really tell. Might be worth it in the long run. We'll see how it looks. But yeah, you see, it's kind of obvious even from... because we're going to have my room up here, and it's going to be obvious these little dots, and it's going to look odd, so... I'll be right back. I'm going to go see if I can get some yellow coral fans, and... boop. And after a while of searching, finally got some. Now, what would be better? Would that... the horn or the, tube coral... What is this called? What is this called? Horn coral. Now, what looks better? This, or... let's take a look at this from above. Okay, that works pretty well. Pretty well. I don't have much, so I actually have to either make a farm or see if anybody else had a farm. But, yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna go with the horn coral. It looks slightly better. Now let's take a look again, because this guy has an obvious ring around. Well, this guy is more... two directions, you can see him pretty well. That is pretty good. Still noticeable, but it's not as noticeable as this guy. Okay, well, we got that decided. However, I think that's going to be it for everything today. Thank you for dropping by, and see you next time on Strange Craft. Boop.